Right, let's look at a response cross-reference report. First of all, let's take a quick look at the data in this survey. There are a few questions, and it's to do with market research. So, what type of market research is used, how the responder would describe their business, a text-based response on how they feel about their experience, and approximately how much is spent. So, now we know that, let's go to the Analysis tab and pick Response Cross-Reference Report. Now we need a question to cross-reference against. So we'll take question 2, how would you describe your business, and select the value small independent, and then click Next. We can see there are 24 records which are meeting the criteria that we've selected. We can then use the other questions in the survey and build a report against them. So what we have now is a response cross-reference report where it's cross-referenced using the following information, and you see an overall small chart. That's a view of everything regardless of this restriction, and the larger chart is where it's been restricted by our values. So we can see that there are slight differences in the actual distribution of the values based on our restriction than there are with the overall view. We can also see the other text values restricted also by our small independent selection, based on the fact that some of the small independents have used other text values. And that's how a response cross-reference report works. In addition to just restricting it by one value in one question, we can also restrict by multiple values over a single question or multiple questions. So, for example, let's go and do a response cross-reference report based on how someone would describe their business and how much they spend annually. So let's go for small independent, and let's say for somebody who spends between £1,000 and £2,000. Notice that there's a treat each selection individually tick box, which means that we can treat it as small independent who spends £1,000 to £2,000, or if we tick the box, small independent and then anybody who spends £1,000 to £2,000. But in this case, we'll just run them together. So then we click Next. Now, because we've only got a limited number of responses in this sample data, there are only 4 records which meet the criteria. However, we'll still run the report and see what it produces. So let's go for question 1. What type of market research do you use? Then we build the report. So as you can see, where a small independent spends between £1,000 and £2,000 on their market research, we can see that these are the responses that they've entered. So we can see that telephone marketing, direct marketing and face-to-face sale calls are used, as well as an online survey in a small case. And that's how you use multiple values to restrict the data to produce more powerful charts using mycentral.com in a response cross-reference report. Don't forget to watch all of our other videos in order to find out plenty more about mycentral.com.